This is Larry the Barber Man. I am at Salon International 2017. I'm in my interview room and I'm joined by Mike Taylor and Alison Scuttergood. Today they are going to discuss a fundraising event they intend to do for a rare form of eye cancer called retinoblastoma. This is a disease that Alison has suffered from. Mike's daughter unfortunately has contracted or has this disease, and between themselves and myself we actually want to promote an event that's coming up, and they're just here today to create some form of awareness for you about the disease and the event that they intend to do. So welcome, guys.
Thank you.
So this is part of an event called Checked. Maybe we could start off first by telling people what Checked is, and then we can go from there.
Checked is the charity that Alison is an ambassador for, aren't you? That's how I found out about Alison having the cancer.
Checked it's only been around for about 30 years, so the charity itself is actually younger than me. So they contacted me quite a few years ago. It was a hospital that I got a letter from, and decided to work with them. When a charity asks you to do something that you've suffered from for yourself, it's really close to my heart. So I've actually worked with Checked for quite a few years now, doing different fundraising events, things like that. Again, it's a really rare cancer, and I didn't really know anybody else that's suffered from it, apart from seeing people on social media. And then it was when Mike contacted us and told us about his daughter Alice. He wanted to obviously know a little bit about the cancer, because when you've just been recently diagnosed with that, a member of your family must be sort of devastating that you want to ask many questions, which is why Mike got in touch with me, and then we talked about the charity and about getting Mike and Emily and his family involved in the charity as well. And then he's met them in the hospital and stuff since. The charity members, haven't you? Leslie and different people who work at the charity have had a few chats with Mike now about the cancer. Okay,
so how are we going to help barbering community clubbing together? How are we going to club together to do this?
Well, Alice is my daughter. She's only 2, and obviously your world falls apart when you hear the news. You never think it'd happen to you, that your daughter or son, your child's got cancer. And Alison's, when I found out that she was an ambassador for the charity, she's been so much help for my wife and myself, like supporting us and telling us all about it. But in some ways, I don't know, being a guy, you want to do all you can to fix, but you can't fix the situation. But one thing I have got the power to do is help the charity, which, like Alison said, is a very small charity, because there's only diagnosed 50 cases a year in this country of this cancer. So it is quite amazing, like millions and millions to one that you'd get it. But as well as 2 people knowing each other that well, I mean, the charity thinks amazing.
They were really, really shocked, because it's so rare. It's a really rare childhood cancer.
Oh, yeah, and such a small community as well, that 2 people.
Yeah. And that it was just quite bizarre that we know each other so well, and obviously we live miles apart. But I was just so shocked, because again, I've never come across anybody else in my life who's had it, apart from reading about other people in the charity and social media and stuff. But because it's so rare, but then for it to have happened to Mike's daughter, I was just gobsmacked really. So the most obvious thing to do would be to work together and help each other, help support his family, and work together with the charity to bring awareness about the kind of cancer it is, and help a small charity, because they haven't got much funds, have they? They haven't got
they've got tiny charity.
Yeah, they're really tiny compared to Cancer Research UK and things like that, which we're passionate about any charity, but this one they haven't really got much at all, So we feel you've got to be able to support that.
Yeah, I mean, there's an opportunity here in the sense that it's unfortunate that your daughter contracted this disease. It's a fortunate thing that you're an educator, and the industry, as we know, needs a little bit of help. So we can use this event that you're proposing to give good education, and in return, the barbers can contribute to such a great charity. So where is this event? Where do you propose this event will take place?
It's being held at Barber and Hair UK on the 20th and 21st of May next year. So we've got 2 massive stages, one for barbering and one for hair. And the idea we have for the whole weekend is just try and get as many big named hairdressers and barbers that know Alison or myself, or know of us, that want to come and help. Everyone's welcome. We want to get as many brands on board to really shout from a rooftop about this charity and this kind of cancer to bring awareness more than anything else to everyone. Because like I thought my daughter had a squint for about a year and then a cataract. It's ridiculous, and you don't even think about this. And she was checked quite a few times by doctors, even a specialist, and they didn't even see this. And it's something that if you had the awareness, we'd have seen it a lot more. And even like the charity says, it's just getting doctors to have the awareness, because the eye specialist that did see it in Bournemouth said that was the second one he's ever seen in his whole career, and all the other a doctor will normally never see one of these in their whole career. So it's making sure they do check for this thing.
Really, really right. And it's because, as well, I think the reason we might want to raise so much awareness, because it's the kind of cancer that needs to be caught really early. I mean, there's a massive survival rate, but if you don't catch it in time, it's severe, and it can obviously lead to being fatal. So this is why you want to raise awareness, so that parents can see what to look out for in their babies. And then it's one of them that the quicker you get it diagnosed, the better result.
Less aggressive the treatment will
be. Because if it's left too long and they don't know what they're looking for, then that's when it can go the other way. So that's what we really want to do together.
Okay, so apart from raising money, I think this would be a really great opportunity to get more numbers than normal come to the Birmingham show, in the sense that the more people that you can make aware of the disease, the more that they can share it with their friends, and their friends can share it with other people, and they won't be kind of left in the vulnerable and unfortunate position that Mike was, that it was diagnosed later than it should have been.
Yeah, much later than it should have been. I was still quite lucky because it comes in A, B, C, D, but when you get to E, the eye would have had to been completely removed, and we was in between D and E, so that we've tried chemo, we're just at the end of the we're on 50-50 whether Alice will lose her eye. She's lost the sight in her eye, but it's like I say, when back in March, if the specialist should have picked it up, would have picked it up then, would have been probably been a lot earlier DC, and the treatment might have been later in the chemotherapy she's went through, and if I'd have had this awareness, I think I'd have seen it. If Alison would have been out with me and my daughter or something, you'd have spotted it.
Yeah, I possibly would have, because I'm going back a long time, but my mum had to take me back to the doctors a couple of times. She spotted it early, but doctors, again, similar to Mike's, didn't diagnose it at all. And then literally when I was a baby, the day the doctor did diagnose it eventually was literally days before I was in to have my operation, because that's how quickly it progressed in the weeks that my mum had me backwards and forwards to the doctors. So this is why we really want to raise awareness, so parents with new babies, and because it's childhood cancer, the early stages of kids' life, like you say, 2-year-old, 3, 4, 5, that's when you need to be looking for it and to know what to look for. It's spotted on mobile phone pictures and things like that now, but not just that. That's one thing to look for signs and symptoms. Like Mike said, it can be a squint. I know with Alice, I think the nursery even noticed as well as you and Emily.
The nursery says
they
squint.
picked up on Alice's squint, so it could be a squint, it can be a white pupil on a picture, but there's a few signs and symptoms that not everybody is aware of, in fact hardly anybody's aware of, and that's, like you say, we need to promote that, because some doctors aren't even aware of it.
How many different points, simplistic points, would you say that they are? Because what I'm thinking now, whilst this video is going out, the last thing we'd want is someone to wait till May, when we might be able to diagnose something now when this video goes out. So maybe you could go through 5 key points.
I know squints and pupils. If you look on a picture for what we would call red eye, sometimes one of the pupils will look white. It doesn't always mean it's retinoblastoma though, because I've brought people's awareness to it before. Even one of my family once got checked through looking at a picture, and it can just be the flash and can just be the light, so you wouldn't want to panic anybody if they start to go through looking at pictures, but that is one of the symptoms. Also, without the camera, they say that sometimes it can look the way some people have described it to me, and doctors like what they would say, like maybe it's a cat's eye, as though the pupil looks really translucent in certain lights. So there's like 3 symptoms. I don't know if you've been told of any more.
Well, the one that we actually knew that there was a massive problem was my wife was thinking, Alice can't see out of one eye, I'm sure of it. So we played Pirates with her and put a patch over one eye. When we put a patch over the good eye, she started walking into doors, she was blind. And that's when we knew this is not a squint. Our daughter's blind in one eye. Yeah, so that was how hard it is to see.
It's really, really hard to diagnose. Yeah,
and I think it was other people saw it more than us. Maybe being her parents, you know.
Oh yeah, you kind of become emotionally attached to them. Like anything in life, when you're in a situation, you can't see it for what it is. But when you're on the outside looking in, you can see clearly for what it is.
When people said she's got a squint, I said, "Oh, my daughter ain't got a squint." It was more like that with me. And I mean, Emily was like, look. I was like, I can't see nothing. And it weren't until I woke up and smelt the coffee when we actually realised she's blind in one eye.
Yeah, just devastating. But at the same time, you've got to, like you say, be positive. And once you see Alice through our chemo, she'll be fine.
Okay, so at this stage, it's fair to say that this event is a blank piece of paper. Is that fair to say?
Pretty much, we've got a few things in the pipeline. I've spoken to quite a few people while I've been down here over the weekend, down prior to this, and I know Mike has too. We've both been networking with people who we know, and it's looking like we're going to get a few really good artists, hairdressing wise and barbering. Yeah.
What are you lacking? What are we pleading for right now?
Some of the really big hairdressers and barbers to just be able to confirm if they free them dates and if they would be prepared to be on board to help us and come to Birmingham NEC and literally do something for us on stage, so that we're attracting lots of people in to watch their work, so they're going to expose themselves as well, and just to promote the charity as well. We just hoping that some people would get involved and get on board with us, even though we have asked some people, and some of them are really, really keen to help. It's just we need really now we're starting to need confirmation.
See, that's the problem. We need to start. We've got lots of big people that are all coming in to help, but it's just they sort of say May's quite far away to confirm May, but we need confirmation so we can just really get it out rolling so
we can plan everything properly, isn't it?
Yeah, so we can get the literature out saying who's coming, what we're doing. Because it's going to be amazing. We've got 2 massive stages, like I said. And
can be utilised this
2 days, so it's
so
utilising that.
A big kind of plead really to the influencers out there. As you can see, Alison and Mike may have discussed it with you over the course of this weekend, but as Salon International, we all know that everyone's really busy. As much as stuff should go in one ear and stay in the centre, it can go out of the other ear. Yeah. You've got the opportunity to watch this video on your mobile phone, on the bus, or in the comfort of your home. They've explained the severity of this disease, and we should use our industry and the free space we've been gifted at such a big event to educate our fellow barbers, the youth, and spread awareness of this disease and raise money for it.
Yeah,
so the thing is, Mike's here. How do people get hold of you on Facebook, Mike?
Mike Taylor Education's the easiest way, because you put Mike Taylor and there's 10 million of us. So if you do Mike Taylor Education, you'll get me, so then you can just personal message me that way.
And Alison Scuttergood, I don't think there could be another Alison Scuttergood.
He actually is.
So yeah, just Alison Scattergood, they'll see hairdresser barber. If they put that in, you can contact me through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Quite a few of the hairdressing and barber friends I've got out there have even got my email. So any they can contact me through EDC if they weren't sure how to contact us personally. They'll always get a hold of me at Eastern College. But yeah, Facebook, inboxes, anything, just to contact us to let us know if they can do this with us. Would be brilliant.
Okay. And action plan, I think we need to set up a Facebook group, so this might make things easier. And then we can literally have a poll. So Alison's to announce a Facebook group. She'll create that on the train back up north, or she'll do it tomorrow. And then we'll have one poll where everyone can put their suggestions and commit to this charity. Like I said, there is free space going. Birmingham NEC is a massive place, and you've got stage space going for free. Let's utilise it and turn this into money to help a worthwhile cause.
Yeah.
Any closing words, guys? Mike, you've always got a lot to say.
Basically, we do want everyone that we can with big profiles get on board, help support this. What you can do can change lives. I know it sounds a bit of a cliche, but as well as that, what we were hoping to do as well with the bigger brands is to get us some raffle with little prizes and a draw with the big brand prizes. So we're going to do that, utilise that way to raise money, and maybe on the Saturday we're going to try and get some hairdressers and barber shops to maybe wear an eye patch for a few minutes while they're cutting hair, and when their client asks about it, tell them why it is on the Saturday before it, because it is actually checked week, 'cause it's the charity week, so it runs inside with Barber UK, so it's absolutely perfect.
Okay, maybe that might be another idea to raise awareness, because we've seen like the ice bucket challenge where one person calls out another. Moving forward, when we get this actual group, maybe we can get some eye patches or get people to get an eye patch and kind of make some form of jingle again, which is fun, and it could create awareness at the same time.
Yeah, or even maybe when they're cutting hair, do it with an eye patch on for 5 minutes.
Because then that will raise awareness of living life with being blind in one eye, because that's what Alice is going to have to do. If even if they're saving her eye itself, she's still going to be blind in one eye. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's lost her sight anyway. I did years ago, but that can even raise awareness for people to manage life being blind in one eye.
Yeah, definitely. Or it shares the experience. It shares the pain a person could potentially be going through, and people ask the question, why have you got the patch? So it's a perfect advertisement.
And it's raising awareness about it, because not everybody even knew that you could get cancer in your eye. You can get it all over your body, but I think it's a shock to some people when they hear about it. So even with the eye patch, I think that'll definitely raise awareness about it as well.
And I think it does raise awareness, and like we say, we just want people out there to know, so that the next kid that has it can get diagnosed a lot quicker. But also there is a massive positive spin to this because of what Alison's done with her career and how well she's doing. That it's not the end of the line, which has been very positive with me with my daughter. That she will go on to fulfil her dreams. Okay, she won't be able to fly an aeroplane, but she'll be able to do what Alison's done, which I think is amazing. So there is a positive slant on all of this.
Thank you. But it's just being positive, and at least that Mike and Emily can see that for Alice in the future, because it must be such a daunting time. I know what I went through, wondering if my kids had it, and that was the worst feeling for me. But I used to get the relief when the specialists used to come back and the kids were out of theatre. And I would feel ill, wondering what the results were, and they would come back and tell them they were all clear, and that was like winning the lottery. So for Mike and Emily to have gone through Alice being diagnosed was obviously, like you said, a blow to her family. So if they can just see somebody that's done well in their lives and their career, and hopefully it just won't affect her in anything in life. There's little things, but who doesn't have little things affect you in certain ways of your life? The only thing that affects me now, I just bang into people all the time. I banged into a few over Salon International weekend on my left hand side, but no, apart from that, she'll be fine.